Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Goldylocks Productions presents the Live from Little Bear Sanctuary show with Christopher Vane. Enjoy topics such as the vegan lifestyle, sanctuary media highlights, and spotlighting new rescues.
Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to Live from Little Bear Sanctuary. I'm your host, Chris Vane. How is everybody doing today? Do you guys like my new set? I did this in honor of SpaceX landing on Mars, so I thought it'd be fun to change up the background today. Who else is a geek and watched it like I did? I remember when. Do you guys remember when, like, well, if you're my age, you remember when, gosh, it used to be glued to the TV when every time NASA sent up a rocket or a space or a moon landing or something like that. It was a lot of fun. And now it's like, oh, I just happened to see on the news the other day. Anyway, I'm a total space geek. I love what SpaceX is doing. And gosh, I would love to have $1 million to go up on a rocket one day, because that's probably how much it costs. Anyway, you guys know, if you're watching on Facebook today or YouTube, sign in, say hello. Make sure you follow Little Bear Sanctuary and subscribe to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube. And are we still on the Goldylocks Facebook broadcasting, Tiffany? I'm not even sure. But no, we're here on Little Bear Sanctuary, third week in a row. Really excited to be coming to you guys live from the Sanctuary page. And again, we still are on YouTube on the Goldylocks Productions network. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Karen is here. Karen is our new board president, and I happen to know that she is joining us from Costa Rica, and I'm so jealous. I need a vacation, and how's the weather down there, Karen? Let's see. All right. So yeah, if you're watching, say hello, ask questions. You guys know how this works. Also, if you guys have any questions that you want me to answer on the show, just send me an email to info@littlebearsanctuary.org. And I'll read it on the show, answer any questions. We got some really great shows coming up. If there's somebody you want me to interview, just say the word, and I'll ask anybody. Hey, good afternoon, Kim. How are you, sweetie? And if you missed any episodes, we are on demand on the Goldylocks Network, YouTube, Little Bear Sanctuary Facebook, Little Bear Sanctuary website. So there's a ton of ways you can watch us if you don't catch the show live on Friday. All right, so I'm going to bring on my first guest today. He was a fire department in New York firefighter for a few years, and he became an herbalist. Talk about a switch in careers. He's a good buddy of mine. Welcome to the studio, Steve. Is it Sietos, Steve?
Yep. Thank you.
That's what let's see. I'm gonna check my my Greek. Kalimera.
Kalimera.
Tikanis.
Tikanis. Hello.
There you go. How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Who do you got there?
Yeah.
Who's your buddy there?
Well, this is my little girl, Wilma.
Wilma. She's like, what is that? Hi, Wilma. Hi, sweetie.
No.
Oh, I'm getting her all excited. I have that voice that scares dogs. Just kidding. Tell me a little bit about Wilma.
Wilma's a little over 13 years old. She was dumped off at my firehouse in 2008. Deformed, without pads, crap and blood, seizing, swollen everywhere, skin kind of falling off,
Hmm.
taking a step, vomiting,
Yikes.
not able to hold down any food or anything, but super fast waggy tail and awesome attitude continuously.
Yeah.
And it was, I'd say, about a year of maybe every 3-day vet visits.
Wow.
And then that basically, I went bankrupt on vets. I took her because the captain decided to put her down. It just seemed like vets were saying, you know, she just wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure, but because there were 2 stories, but one of them was that she was rescued from a dogfighting ring and she was bred to be bait, and that's why her DNA is what it is.
Got it.
Because in nature, mom usually rejects the weak ones.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, cerebral palsy isn't even a diagnosis that vets use. So that's why they'll say you're crazy. It's not a diagnosis, and it's like,
right. Right. Is that sort of what you're leaning towards with what her condition is?
Actually, a vet was really candid with me and just basically told me that that's what she thought when I was just tearing my hair out, like trying to understand.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But they call it something like musculodegenerative, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is she the one who got you sort of into the whole herbalist thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. It wasn't, I guess I thought herbs were kind of weak, actually, beforehand. And I had no idea, but her, unfortunately, she was wearing like really, really tough 3M cones, the strongest cones that 3M could make, and she was just shattering them and self-mutilating down to the bone. And I was just tearing my hair out, bankrupt, and the apartment was a bloodbath always. And I read about an herb called comfrey leaf. And comfrey leaf is a cell proliferative, which means it grows skin pretty rapidly. So I had to mix it with like an herbabiotic because you don't want to seal in an infection. And I wrapped her pads with a poultice, which is a ton of herb with very little hot water. So it's real concentrated overnight. And the next morning, there was just a saran wrap thin layer of new skin.
Wow.
And that's when my whole body started vibrating with spirit chills. And I just started obsessing online nonstop. And we had so many conditions that we had to tackle. But she's such a champ, such a non-complaining, stoic, willing participant, appreciative, just a
miracle dog.
She is a miracle dog, but I had a lot of help too, because there wasn't any avenue I wasn't willing to. I contacted flower essence practitioners for her emotions, because herbs affect the physiology of the body, but flowers are for the emotions. Shamans, wizards, energy healers, anybody and everybody, and it just all came together. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you've definitely gone above and beyond with this dog. I think probably more so than any person I know. I was a vet tech for a long time, and I can't even imagine. I totally believe you went bankrupt trying to help this dog too. Like, I can just imagine the vet bills were astronomical.
They were crazy.
Yikes! Do you find that vets are so engraved in their medicine that they kind of sort of have like a one way thinking when it comes to that?
Yes, absolutely. Only because they are following their training.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you go to a priest with the Quran and say, I want spirituality, they're going to say, this is the Bible. This is what I'm trained in.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, there is rarely they don't even get any nutritional training except from the dog food companies.
Yeah, it's true. It's the worst.
Doctors get trained by the pharmaceutical industry. And I mean, I've been studying nutrition and stuff for over 10 years for animals. And it's frustrating. I mean, they've started to use stuff like milk thistle because, when dogs have high liver enzymes and everything, but that's not how herbalism works. It's never a give me this for that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at the individual because each plant has a temperature, and it either warms or cools or it's neutral. It goes outward or inward or down or up. So, for example, if Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both came to me for high blood pressure, they would get an opposite treatment because he's on fire. He's red, his tongue's red. So he needs to be cooled and soothed and lubricated. And she actually is stuck in traffic. That's why she's frustrated. She's cold. She needs to be warmed. She's probably constipated with a low thyroid. You have to look at the individual. And so this for that is Western medicine. And you can't get, a little old lady with cold hands and feet. A chemical pill is not going to do anything for the fact that she's foggy-headed because her blood is all contained in the core. You need cinnamon, cayenne, ginger to warm and rebalance her cold constitution. Her veins are blue. It's very simple.
That makes sense.
Once you've studied all these plants and you look at the animal or the person and you give them a consultation, you can see where their imbalance is.
Yeah. Wow. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What I know that a lot of you just mentioned, people are looking for that like one product fix, and it really doesn't exist. And I think that's like the biggest problem with human medicine, vet medicine. Here's a pill that you're going to take for this high blood pressure. Here's a pill now you got to take for your cholesterol.
Yes.
Here's the pill for your thyroid. And I think looking at the whole picture is what's really lacking in any kind of medicine today.
Yep. That's what holistic means. You have to look at the person as a whole. Yeah. Yeah, and for sure. Food is such a big part of it too, man.
I was just going to say food, especially in the U.S., high obesity is the number one killer now. Number two is heart disease. I think it switched finally.
Yeah.
And although they go hand in hand, right? And then you got diabetes, and the big picture is what people are putting in their body every single day.
Yep.
I just finished my certification at Cornell in plant-based nutrition, and having been vegan for 11 years, this was a whole eye-opening experience for me. It looked exactly like what we're talking about. It's not about, and this is a problem in nutrition. It's not about like eat this one apple and it's going to cure this, or eat this for this. And a lot of people look at that right now. And especially when it comes to supplements, which actually don't work, if you really look at this, the general.
Because there's no synergy.
Right. And they're just, it's kind of like the pharmaceutical industry now, the vitamin industry. It's just as bad. People are looking for that one fix, or they trying to equate. They look at protein and say, okay, I got to get this much protein, instead of looking at, everything you're eating in one day, and and what you're feeding your cells is how it's going to project onto you. And it's not just about eating one food or two. It's really a holistic, whole foods change that I need to make, because I'm such a garbage eater. But it was really eye opening for me to see. Even scientists, they fight about this today. There's so many battles in between plant-based nutrition and regular nutrition, and protein and carbohydrates, and every diet out there doesn't work. It was. I wish everybody could take this course. I think that physicians need to take this course. It really should be required.
Yeah, I might take it myself, man, because I'm a little bit one of those Gardein fish stick.
Me too.
In my toaster, which is like.
Yep. Yeah, I love my Gardein, right?
Yeah, the problem with science is that in a petri dish, they can only test one chemical.
Yep. And
plants have thousands of chemicals. It's like plucking out an eyelash and saying this is a human. And so they try to do these studies on plants, and they're beyond flawed, because there's a synergy that happens just like there is with all the chemicals in our body, our blood, our lymph, our immune cells, bacteria. And so they just fail. And they know they're failing because they don't want to validate plants or herbs.
Yeah.
And, even CBD, which is CBD is highly effective, but CBD needs a little teeny bit of THC to be able to have an effect.
Transport it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just one example. So it's a shame. The more you know, the more, but you want to educate yourself. And unfortunately, the FDA keeps you from educating yourself. So
that's the truth.
Me saying dandelion root is going to cool the liver and cool the body and clear excess hormones out of the liver. Now I'm making a claim and I could be arrested.
Yeah.
And it's a joke. So, practitioners like myself, we basically just say we're educators of plants. And that's really how we practice. And so our wording is very careful. It's a shame because so many animals' lives could be healed easily. People put their dogs down for the stupidest reasons, as far as I'm concerned. Ridiculous. Allergies, diarrhea. Those things are, give me 4 days and we'll have this taken care of. But it's a vicious cycle, and a lot of these vets, these well-meaning vets, have been bought out by these huge vet corporations that are constantly having them on this vaccine thing. And it's if you test me right now, they're going to tell me, oh, you're still good for hepatitis. You test me again in 10 years, you're still good. It's but with these animals, every year,
every year.
And we're going to give them all these shots all at once just to make the immune system go absolutely insane with the hyperinflammatory immune response. It's such a shame. And most of cat cancers, the tumors are right on the injection site.
Yes.
It's so frustrating.
And they know it too. They're trying to make cleaner vaccines for cats. They especially the what's the blood cancer one, the leukemia vaccine for cats. God, they have to do it on the left side, left for leukemia, because that's usually where the site reaction occurs and where the cancer ends up happening. So it's scary stuff.
It is. It's unfortunate, but I'm grateful for my experience with this little girl. I never thought she was going to make it past the year. It's the reason why she was never trained, because I just didn't think she was going to survive. And now she's a dominatrix diva, bosses me around, does whatever she wants.
She knows her name. She's like, yes, I am, right? Looking at the camera.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Wilma. My friend Wilma's tuning in, actually. She said it's a great name. Oh gosh, I love that tongue. So cute. Wilma, hi, pretty girl. How are you? Does she have like no teeth and that kind of stuff too? Is that why?
Oh, she has teeth. It's just her left side, the eye droops, and that's where her whole left side is affected. So she kisses and eats and drinks like this.
Fun. So you had to learn how to do new cleaning in your house too from her eating. I can't get up. She's so freaking cute. Look at that face. So cute. Wilma, hi, sweetie. People are going to think I'm nuts right now, but it's okay. Hi, Wilma.
She's the best, man.
She's so cute.
I've never seen such courage, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about the condition you received her, and I don't even think people would have lasted a week, honestly, with all that going on.
Guys were taking her home because she was so sweet and cute.
Yeah.
But they were just bringing her right back. And then my captain rolled her in on a baby carriage at the company picnic on a little beach in Long Island where we had our company picnic. And her pads were like just disgustingly pus-filled, oozing, and they were wrapped in paper towels. And it was like, paper towels? Rolled her in, and he said, we're putting her down. And it was like, that was my chance, because I was a junior guy. And so the fire department, there's a pecking order. So, senior guys were like, oh, she's beautiful. But, that lasted like one night each.
One night, yeah.
And then, so I had my chance with her. But I really didn't know. I mean, you don't have any training in this stuff.
Yeah.
How to heal the digestive system, the endocrine system. I mean, you can see her, there's no muscle in her, her brain. So full moons are really tough on her. She'll have epilepsy. We had to tackle that also. But we did.
Yeah. Is she strictly like being controlled with herbal medications? I call them medications, but herbs.
Yes, but she has, when I moved out to Colorado from New York City, because she's 13, I really wanted to form a relationship with a Western medicine doctor, because, Western medicine is heroic and it is very effective. It stops a process that's happening in the body very quickly.
Sure.
Absolutely. And I know that, she's a senior citizen now, and, I'm going to need help. She has her own homeopathist, and I don't know if you know I don't know if you know what homeopathy is.
I do, but explain it for our viewers.
So homeopathy is like cures like. And for example, if you have a red hot swollen bump on your arm, in nature, a bee sting would cause that exact symptom. And so let's say she has a big red hot swollen bump. I know to grab the memory of bee sting venom, which is apis in homeopathic pellets, which then will trick her body, and that will just go down. I mean, she had a big ass swollen paw 3 days ago. I gave her arnica for 2 days and just I'm not a homeopathist because they have to study like 200,000 matches. Because if it's not an exact match from the symptom, it's a dead bullet. Nothing will happen. But there was a time in the firehouse where she was septic. She was hopeless. She was on fire. She was burning. And I was giving her yarrow tea because yarrow opens the exterior of the body, which is like venting the windows of a burning building. It wasn't cutting it. And luckily we had an odor of gas above a natural food store. And I ran in and told the woman, my dog is septic. She gave me pyrogenium, and pyrogenium is made from taking steak and having it rot. So if you were to eat that, you would get blood poisoning or sepsis. But because it's just the memory, within 20 minutes, her body temperature was absolutely normal. And I was like, my God, why didn't I study homeopathy? But that's like another 12 years. And I was a full firefighter. At this point, I was making medicine for veterinarians and integrated physicians. And, you know, I stuck with herbalism, but homeopathy is amazing and it's so safe, but you kind of have to know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the shelf behind you.
Yeah, these are all
very cool. Can you name the bottle starting from here and go across without turning around? Maybe. I bet you can. Wilma's looking. She's like, yeah, I can name them.
Yeah.
So,
if I put a cookie down, if she has any infection going on in her paw, and I soak her sock into the herb, and I put a cookie down, she will lick that sock first, which just floors me how they know what they need. And these herbs do not taste good. I mean, her cookies taste way better than yarrow tea, but you know, she's willing. So
that's amazing. It's funny. I've got an ornery dog named Petey who, oh gosh, he decided to pick a fight with our biggest pit bull 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't a good outcome. He ended up in the hospital for a week, back and forth, and maybe you can answer this question. He's got, of course, he was bit in the armpit, probably the worst place that could be opened up because of the movement, and after a traumatic injury, the skin dies and has to fall off. So that's what we're dealing with right now. He had, I know because you mentioned that skin treatment, he had a surgical repair last Friday and it failed 2 days later. The hole is probably the size of a baseball. I mean, you can look right in, see his muscles, his tissues. And so that's what we're dealing with now. Of course, he's on 3 different antibiotics.
Yeah. Are they giving him a cream that's petroleum based?
I'm using sulfasilvidine.
Yeah, silver. I mean, silver's awesome. I would actually, and I'm happy to talk with you more in detail afterwards, but
yeah, sure.
I would actually start using like a very, very, very strong calendula and yarrow tea combination.
Okay.
You know,
just like soak the area or drink it.
So you would basically make a super, super, super strong tea, and then you would dip like a cloth into that tea and then apply it, you know, and just leave that on overnight, every night. And then you'll really see that tissue heal up, because calendula is like, it'll stitch stuff back together. Yeah. And yarrow is just highly antimicrobial. Silver's highly antimicrobial too, but it's not going to create new skin growth or that tightening effect to bring everything back together.
Yeah. We'll talk more after the show.
Yeah, it's not hard.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool. Hopefully I can find the stuff I need here. But probably have to order it online.
Probably. Commerce is kind of tough sometimes. COVID has made herb stores kind of be out of stock, so I've been ordering stuff online. Yeah.
My friend Laura is here. She's a Reiki healer. She does a lot of energy work. She's helped our animals, and she said that Wilma is your teacher.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Wilma kept me on track. Anytime I kind of went off my path or my shadow took over, she got sick. I didn't get sick. She got sick. So that always slapped me in the face to get my shit together. Because losing her would have been, it just wasn't an option.
Yeah.
She is my teacher. Not only that, she really taught me how to love and be loved.
Yeah.
And,
I can tell.
If we're eternal, then I needed that for my soul growth. She brought me where I needed to be, and she keeps me in check. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish more people connected with animals the way you do.
I kind of wish people would recognize what's happening and why. For me, it wasn't that hard to see the correlation. And loyalty is not one-sided.
Right.
Only a narcissist would feel that way. These animals, these animals are so loyal and unconditional. And what do we just throw them some dog food, treat them like shit, taking them out quickly for a poop, and then we're done. And the vet this, and he's clawing himself, and my pookie. And then I give them a healing protocol that takes me like 2 hours to write up, and they're like, oh yeah, well, this is it's like a little what? Do you have any idea what I've been through? With joy, if you're going to take on an animal, you want to be invested. It's a real relationship. It's not just like they're a purse.
Yeah. Yeah, gosh, I totally agree. I've saw it so many times. And the second somebody has something a little bit too difficult to do, or what they they're totally not invested anymore, and it's really, really sad.
It bums me out too, man. But there are tons of people out there that really love their animals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can tell by their personality too. You can tell who's the real animal lover and who's who's full of poop.
Yeah. And also, thankfully during COVID, a lot of the shelters are empty now.
Yeah. That's been.
But vets are up to here.
Yeah, they are.
They're quitting, and they're done.
Yeah.
And getting an appointment, getting like an X-ray is like a month ahead of time, and so people really need to start feeding their animals better and thinking for themselves, because it's it's important right now, especially that people make an effort. So,
it's I have a lot of things to say about it, but I won't. I'll be nice right now.
Yeah, I want to keep it positive.
It goes the same with farm animals, right? I rescue farm animals who've been abused and neglected, and aside from the rescued from slaughter, which is a whole other story, but just the lack of respect, there's how someone will let an animal be in pain for so long. I'm trying to keep it the very basic. And because they're a farm animal, they think for some reason maybe their pain level isn't the same as ours, or just, and that's just a very general statement. But I'm always, shouldn't say I'm stunned and surprised anymore, because I'm not, but it's amazing how people don't think that certain animals feel pain the way we do, or experience emotions the way we do.
Or grief. I mean,
what's that? Grief.
Yeah. I mean, I remember
absolutely.
I remember being a little boy, and my mom's side are sheep herders, and my dad's side are goat herders. And I mean, these animals grazed all day in the sunshine and ate wildflowers and drank from the spring.
Yeah.
But if you slaughtered a baby, that mom is bawling her eyes out for days on end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and these animals, I mean, in my opinion, they were living the life.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no abuse or anything like that. But come Easter time, mom was in grief, and even after she stopped crying, she was not happy. She just lost her baby.
Yeah. Happens every day in the dairy industry, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But those animals they experience and
they have a shit life, pardon my French, from the start. So
no sunshine, genetically modified shit.
Yep.
Smelling their own feces, the nitrogen, which is burning their lungs.
Yep.
They have cancer at like age 2. You know, and all those animals that are deemed unhealthy for human consumption because of cancers and disease go into dog food.
Yep. I was going to say dog food is the garbage leftover of the garbage of every animal that can be ground up and put into a can. Probably the worst. You know, and we feed that to our dogs.
Yes.
But people feed that to their dogs.
The heat that is created, the extrusion process, is so the high temperature, so the bag of dog food stays fresh forever.
Yep.
That releases 2 very, very, very toxic cancer-causing chemicals, and they're not meant to eat kibble anyways.
Yeah.
So it's just it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
It's again, I think it comes down to, are you willing to cook for your dog like you cook for yourself, right? I think that's what it comes down to. And it's a matter of convenience and, and education. And unfortunately, we don't get a lot of that here.
Well, I know what's really retarded is that cooking for your dog in the long run will save you thousands. Dogs will have an amazing life.
Yep.
But people are like, oh, well, that's a little inconvenient and expensive. It's not expensive, and it's not inconvenient. It takes me, for 4 days, it takes me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what's expensive? We don't run to the vets hardly ever. Once a year.
Yeah.
Do I need help? Like, people are going every 2 weeks, and it's just like they're chasing their tails. And there's this bag of crap that they just don't want to. And that's okay. I mean, we're all in choice. But once you learn, you can't unlearn something.
Right. Then you have to be you're willingly looking the other way.
Yeah.
Which comes with so many things are like that. So many people are like that, and it's hopefully this show is changing some of that. And I think there's actually some pretty good books on diets for dogs, making it at home. I used to know a ton of them. I don't off the top of my head. Is that something you guys do? You work with people with diets for dogs and stuff like that? Yeah.
More medical conditions, and there's dog nutritionists out there. Like this woman here. These are Wilma's vegan dog treats. The Zen Life. She does dog nutrition. She's an expert at it. I might have
the Zen Life.
The Zen Life, yeah.
The Zen Life.
I'm sorry, the Zen Dog Life.
The Zen Dog Life.
She's amazing. She does dog nutrition, and there's another woman on Instagram, Kat Lane. She's an expert at dog nutrition, and she teaches dog nutrition.
What's her name?
Kat Lane.
Lane?
Lane, Lane.
Lane, Kat Lane.
And she teaches, she has classes you can take online on animal nutrition.
Oh, very cool.
I'm more about, herbalism for animals. But yes, of course, in my consultation, I will give dietary recommendations. So there's a lot out there.
Yeah, there's, Google.
Yeah.
It's
not that hard. People make mistakes of just like, they have nutritional needs just like we do. So you don't be deficient, and you don't want to wing it.
Yeah. And even if you're doing a vegan dry dog food, add the fresh veggies, add the, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And, you're eating it yourself, throw some in the dog bowl.
Exactly.
You want to see Wilma? Say hi. She came to say hello.
Oh.
Who's that? Say hi, everybody. This is a dog show today. It's not a kitty show. Come on, go down.
I would say
cats in outer space.
Yeah, I would say one thing about changing. It's sort of like why somebody would become drunk like myself off of one whiskey and somebody else needs like 10, it's because they've built up the enzymes to digest the whiskey.
Yes.
And when you're switching your food, just over 10 days, just slowly introduce it. Because people are like, oh no, I gave them the new food and they have diarrhea. No.
What a surprise.
Slow down, slowly introduce the food and let their, originally these wolves were had a variety, just like we have a variety of corn, wheat, or did before everything became a monoculture. But we still need a variety. And now they give them the same, and he can only eat this. It's like, no, that's just, they've only built up the enzymes to only eat that because that's all you're giving them.
Not to mention how their livers have to compensate for all the horrible crap that's in the food.
Absolutely, man. It's really tough on the liver. The liver can only juggle so much. The liver was never meant to process toxins, genetically modified shit.
Yeah. Yeah, GMO, gosh.
Yeah.
That's all another show too, right?
Yeah, well, all that corn feeds ends up in whatever's left.
Whatever's left
ends up in their dog food.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Yikes. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your training, because, we've talked about herbs and everything. I know that you started in 2010.
Well, I started with her right away.
Right away.
Self. Yeah. Herbal dog books, herbal cat books. But then 2010, I started going to formal training because everything was working.
Yeah.
I
know you.
I was amazing. And so I went through 3 herbal programs. Unfortunately, the herbal programs that they have for animals are for vets only. And,
yes.
That's really frustrating for pet owners and people like myself who know more about plants than they ever will. But they know more about animals than I ever will. And it would be nice if someday it came together. It's sort of like it's sort of like telling a psychic medium healer that they need to become a priest first. It's like, no, they don't need to become a priest first, and I don't need to become a vet for a system that I'm not going to use. But it is what it is. There are herbs for pets books out there, and there's one that's an amazing one by Gregory Tilford called Everything You Need to Know About Herbs for Pets.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah. And, there's, cat herbal books. There's a lot out there. People can, they're generic because of what we spoke before about I have to look at the animal's constitution.
Yeah.
But even so, they're very informative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Go down.
So cute. Hi, sweetie. Hey, pretty girl. Wilma. Is that the Flintstones, right?
Yep.
Wilma. Did she come with the name?
No, she came with the name Chloe.
Chloe. Why Wilma?
I think me and my buddy Mark were camping, and I was like calling her a bunch of names, and he yelled out Wilma, and she came.
Ah.
So it's stuck.
Interesting. She picked her own name.
Yeah, she did.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that. So pretty. Wilma. What's her t-shirt?
Oh, her t-shirt's from the firehouse. It was one of my t-shirts from the
one
firehouse.
Of your t-shirts?
The firehouse floor was like so full of oils and toxins that, I didn't want her body absorbing that stuff. So she always had she always had her uniform on. Also.
She always had her uniform on.
Yeah.
I assume she had to go with you every day to work?
Absolutely, man. There was no way anybody could take care of this dog. And I'm so very lucky that the men were, they saw what hell I was going through.
Yeah.
And they saw how poor I was. I mean, we were riding my bike with a sidecar over the Williamsburg Bridge to get to the firehouse. You know, finances were just beyond stressful.
Wow.
And so luckily the guys, they embraced me taking care of her. At the same time, I was taking care of their health conditions and their families as a thank you. But even after I got injured and I went light duty, I'm just so lucky that the deputy chiefs, they overheard me on the phone talking to her dog sitter, because you're not going to bring your dog to the division where the deputy chiefs are, because the deputy chiefs, you just salute and you don't look at them in the eyes.
And don't talk to them.
They overheard me telling, because she was seizing, it was a full moon, and I was telling her to go get the skull cap and the milky oak seed, and she was like, how do I do this? And they overheard it on the phone, and they were like, just go get your dog.
Yeah. And
so while I was on light duty, I was able to bring her to the division, which was a shock for most of the department. So I'm super, super lucky that the universe really conspired to allow me to be able to take care of this animal.
Yeah, seriously, she came to the right place and she met the right person, and absolutely incredible story. Really incredible.
I'm the one that won the lottery here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish everybody felt the same way.
Yeah,
much better world.
It's not a burden. They give so much back, man.
Yeah,
more than you ever.
They're your kids, their family. They're such a big part of your life. I got 5 crazy ones here that all are in the bed at night between us, and I ain't gonna let them. I let them in the bed. Why not? They're my kids.
My armpit.
Exactly. Yeah. Any final words?
I think people should start thinking for themselves.
Yeah. And
just because somebody tells you something that's an authority figure, if it doesn't feel right to you, just explore a little. There's the American Holistic Veterinary Association, the AHVMA, and all you got to do is put in your zip code, and now you got a list of holistic veterinarians that are Western medicine vets that went the extra mile to learn what I've learned.
Yeah.
It's like you got the best of both worlds. I mean,
yep. My vet actually has and he does acupuncture too and all that. So he knows his herbs. He does amazing stuff. I love that he can do that. Yeah. And they're definitely out there and easy enough to look up too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are there other people like you out there other than is it something that people go into? Or is it more of a unique situation?
I'm finding that herbalists come to me, and because I want them to learn, I'll just give them pictures of all these books I have. Obviously, I'll give them advice, but it would be great if Herbs for Pets was taught in herb schools.
That would be really cool.
It would be, because it's so important, and it would be nice if veterinarians and herbalists could get together. That would be an amazing combination.
That would be amazing, and I hate to think it comes down to money and
it's their
proprietorship. Is that the right word?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and we touched on vaccines. I know that there's a pretty high-profile vet who is trying to change the protocols for vaccines in animals, and he's been trying for years and years and years, and he talks about you're vaccinating your pet every single year with the same stuff over and over. And like I was in human healthcare, I was vaccinated for hepatitis A and B and you name it, and if you tested my blood, I'm not getting these shots every year. And
titers.
And so there you can get titers for dogs, and I think it's a great way if you're unfortunately the rabies vaccine. I think there's a way if the titers are a certain amount, you don't have to get the rabies vaccine. But, if anybody's watching, you can talk to your vet and get titers of these vaccines.
Yeah, and maybe just real quickly explaining to people that titers is basically what we spoke of when they check and they say, oh, you're still good for this. She's still good for all the vaccines she had as a puppy.
Yeah.
Because I get titers every year.
Yep.
And they let's check. And she's still good for everything. Why would I do that to a dog with a weak immune system? No. And why would you do that to a healthy dog and mess up?
Why would you do it to a healthy dog? Right. Yeah. So, just the fact that they usually run a fever afterwards and feel like crap for a day kind of sort of tells you,
Yeah, and then they have these weird allergies that happen afterwards.
Yeah.
All these things that just turn into a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dr. Gene Dodds is somebody on YouTube that really, really, really explains titers and explains vaccines. She's a veterinarian who also speaks the truth about vaccines.
Oh, very cool. What's her name?
Dr. Gene Dodds, D-O-D-D-S.
D-O-D-D-S, great.
Brilliant woman.
Fantastic. Well, Steve, thanks for being on the show today. I enjoyed talking to you, and I know we'll talk later. Wilma, it's great to finally meet you sort of in person.
This is what
So cute. Thank you guys for being on the show. We'll talk soon, Steve. Appreciate you coming today. Come back soon.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Yep. All right. Wow, that was a great show. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned a lot today. I'm going to try to reach out to some of these people that he mentioned to maybe we can get a dog nutritionist on to talk about like homemade dog and cat food. If you're late to the show, I highly recommend you watch this back on demand. Really, some really great information. All right, so I brought some show and tell stuff today because I know we've got our 21-day vegan plant-based challenge coming up next month, and I tried some new products. Yay! So this one, Silk oatmeal cookie, oat milk creamer for your coffee. If you guys, I wish I would have never bought this because it's so good. It tastes like you're drinking an oatmeal cookie. Really, there's no reason to put dairy in your coffee anymore. This stuff is amazing. It's a little on the sweet side. I'm not a big sweet person in my coffee, but when it tastes like an oatmeal cookie, heck yeah. and what I like about the Silk brands, if you want one that's not sweet, they make a soy creamer that's really good. It creams these cream really, really well. They and they give a really nice flavor to the coffee. And literally, this does taste like an oatmeal cookie. Crazy stuff, but so good. 4 grams of sugar, not too bad if you're using 1 tablespoon. I don't know about you guys, but I never put just 1 tablespoon in my coffee. But yeah, gluten-free, which is really nice. No cholesterol, no artificial colors or flavors, dairy-free, obviously. And this one's carrageenan-free. Carrageenan is a thickener made from seaweed, and some people have an allergy to it. The thoughts are still out on that. I don't have a problem with it, but this actually is carrageenan-free. So really good stuff. Also, now because I don't like sugar in my coffee, I've been trying to find a 0 sugar coffee creamer that actually tastes decent. And I've tried everything, and I know my friend Laura, if she's still watching, I know she's not a fan of sugar in her coffee, and she's tried a lot, and man, they really taste like poopy. So I did get a chance to try this Nut Pods oat creamer. Comes in a little box. It's in the non-refrigerated section. It was with the regular coffee section with the non-dairy creamers and the not refrigerated, and pretty good actually. It tasted a little bit like Cremora, the powdered Cremora. So actually, I don't mind that flavor. And literally zero sugar, zero fat. I mean, this is basically just like an oat creamer, and it's made by Nut Pods. They actually have a couple different. They've got a vanilla. They've got sugared ones, and I gotta say, really good. Not bad. I don't mind the taste of Cremora. A little on the expensive side, considering it's the they're sort of the same. They're the same price, so but I actually really liked this one. So crazy, right? Another great. I got to do this before I forget. So I promised Watson and Wolf. They're a vegan leather company in England, and they sent me this really amazing travel case. And I told them I'd do a little segment on the show. I know it's a little hard to see here, but this is a vegan leather travel case, and it's more luxury vegan leather. And you know what I find about these new luxury vegan leathers? They're really incredible. I like them better than the old school leather. They're really well made. I know a lot of these they do them from cactus, from watermelon skins, believe it or not. I know there's some stuff with pineapple skins now, and I don't know if you can look in there. Look how cool that red is. They've got a really, really nice zipper. It's a really strong zipper. I love the red detail. And then here there's a lot of little pockets for credit cards and stuff. So it feels good. It looks good. I know it's probably hard to see. They'll put your initials here too. And it's Watson and Wolf. You can find them on Instagram. The stitching details, this is really put together nice. I highly recommend it. There's no reason to purchase goods made with dead animal skin anymore. There's so many incredible vegan leather companies, and they do pocketbooks, they do wallets, belts. I mean, you name it. We all know that there's shoe designers out there who do really incredible, beautiful non-leather shoes. Sneaker companies now, vegan sneakers. Adidas is making a really cool one. It's actually nicer than the alternative, and I'm really impressed with this product. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm going to use it for my vacation this year. All right, couple more show and tell. Every kitchen, every plant-based kitchen needs nutritional yeast. I wanted to show you guys this product because you're definitely going to need it for our upcoming. It's made by Bragg. There's a couple different companies that make it, and it's called Nutritional Yeast. This is one of those products that you either hate or you like. It has a cheesy flavor. It's basically used to make different cheese sauces. It's loaded with all the B vitamins that you normally don't get from plants. And it's a dry ingredient. It's yellow. I recommend you buy the non-GMO of this because yeast. But you can use this for everything. It makes a really great sprinkle Parmesan for pasta, and we'll definitely be sharing some stuff on this. Again, it's one of those things. I love the taste of it. I know there's people out there who absolutely think it's disgusting. But again, I think it's all how you use it. And so it's amazing with like an oat milk. You heat it up sort of like I can't think of the thickening agent now that you put in to thicken stuff, but it's similar to that, and it gives it an amazing cheesy flavor. Good stuff. You guys are going to need it. And then this is new to me. India black salt. Is it coming backwards on the screen? No. There we go. Can you guys? Oh, there we go. India black salt. It's you can get this on Amazon. There's a couple different places you can order it, and this tastes like egg. Crazy, right? It's a great thing to use instead of buying the processed egg replacers for, like, if you want to make an omelet. You add this to tofu, and it tastes exactly like scrambled eggs. So if you want to do like a scrambled tofu, I'm completely shocked. It's a salt. It tastes like eggs. Crazy, right? I think it has like a high sulfur content, but cornstarch. Thank you, Elizabeth. Cornstarch. How you doing, Elizabeth? Yes, similar to cornstarch. But yeah, this India black salt, very reasonable. Ton of different places to get it. And if you like the taste of eggs, and if you're looking to kind of replace that, I actually like scrambled tofu as it is. So, and one more thing quick, because we're coming to the end of the show. Tofu Press. You want to get the water out of your tofu. So you want a tofu press. You sort of see that spring in there. And what happens is you put the tofu in, and then you pour out the water. You don't need, these are inexpensive plastic things that you can order. I'll show that again next week. But you can also use 2 plates and something heavy. And you want to get the water out of the tofu. That way it absorbs whatever flavor you're putting it into. That's my show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really learned a lot. Definitely going to have Steve back. And you guys, the Vegan Challenge pre-show, March 26th. I'll see you guys next week. Remember, peace begins on your plate. I love you guys. Bye.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.